Welcome to the Pancake Podcast. It's your boy Jason, and we're here. It's a special night here on recording night because the almighty Carolina Panthers are playing, but we don't prioritize teams here on the Pancake Podcast. We show love to everybody, and we also slander everybody because at the end of the day, good football deserves to be celebrated, and bad football deserves to be cooked. But before we get into all that, how y'all fellas doing this evening?
I'm doing great, man. It was a really fun but also weird week of football. That was week 2. You had a lot of the early games kind of went like you expect them to go, and then around 4 o'clock Central or 5 o'clock Central time, the games in the late period just drove off a cliff in terms of predictability. All the games going down to the wire. Craziness happening everywhere. We almost had a walk-off safety.
We almost did. It was real close.
It was close, but it was a real fun week of football.
Sure was. And I don't even know where to begin. Shoot. We could talk about that little thriller in LA with the good old Cowboys. We could talk about Tampa Bay still being dominant. We could talk about the almighty Panthers last week. We can talk about all sorts of teams, fellas. Who we want to get into first?
I guess we'll start with who we're probably going to end up talking about for most of the day today, which is the Carolina Panthers. Because I wrote about the Panthers because I had to after what they did on defense to the Saints. The Saints, coming off of a 38-3 drubbing of the Packers, pretty much looked like they were going to be unstoppable with the offensive line that they had, as they should, with Teron Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk. But the Panthers basically took their game plan and told the Saints to take their game plan and throw it out the window because they dominated in the places where you thought the Saints would win. The outside zone schemes, Carolina played that really well. Morgan Fox, who is supremely underrated in how they got him in free agency. The improvement of Derek Brown has also helped them solidify the run game. And now they just have an aggressiveness and an edge. Dante Jackson is coming up and making 3-yard gains. I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that from you. But their defense is so versatile in the ways they can line up and the ways they come after you blitzing. And it just makes you think, and you don't have a lot of time to think with Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns coming off the edge because that will get you killed. I think the Panthers offense still kind of mad. There's some lulls there, especially with Sam Darnold having one of those Sam Darnold interceptions last week where it's kind of oh, just take it.
Yeah, just take it. Yeah, that was kind of bad. That was kind of bad.
But it's going to be interesting to see how far this Panthers defense can carry the offense until it starts to start firing on all cylinders. But a side note on the offense, Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore are stars.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. We've known about Christian McCaffrey. We know that he's a top 5 back in the league. What he does to make people miss, in route running, is on receiver levels. You can run choice routes. They were trying to chip Christian McCaffrey coming out of the backfield and then having a linebacker on him, and he was just making everybody miss.
Everyone can't keep up with him. It's ridiculous.
And DJ Moore makes so many tough catches in traffic. I kind of feel bad for him because, Sam Darnold will throw him a hospital ball over the middle, but he catches it. And the touchdown that he caught from Sam Darnold was a beautiful play designed by Joe Brady. I'm really excited to see how far this Panthers team can go, mainly because of their defense.
See, that's the thing. And I was the biggest Sam Darnold slanderer. All off season, I was looking into his stat lines and I was looking into the film and I'm like, bro, this guy is a turnover machine and we're going to be in horrible positions, from the start of the game to the end. And so far, it's been pretty stable on offense for the most part. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of on the Joe Brady train. I feel like in the Panthers fan base specifically, there's a lot of criticism for Joe Brady, but there's also a lot of love for Joe Brady. I'm kind of on the fence right now because I'm waiting to see how the offense develops even more. But as of right now, winning
If you can
games.
make Sam Darnold at least mediocre after being the worst quarterback in the league, I think that's well deserving of praise.
Absolutely. And
But
honestly, oh, man. This
another
team
team
is so exciting. Who you about to get into?
I was going to talk about the Rams-Colts game because that got a little close at the end, a little closer than I thought it would be. But the Rams were kind of hitting them with the beat them down in the first half. And I think Matthew Stafford just elevates what you can do in that Sean McVay offense. Because now you can have a quarterback where if nothing's open, he can go create by himself. Or screw it, Matthew Stafford, I have the strongest arm in the league, just throw it downfield. He and Cooper Kupp have this like amazing rapport where like Cooper Kupp is just wide open every time.
He gets them.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp is a good receiver just in general.
Cooper Kupp is a very
underrated. I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
He and Robert Woods are really underrated.
Yeah, and that Rams offense just hard to beat, man. Like, what do you do?
They're hard to beat because now you can't just sit on the 15-yard drift routes. You have to play all parts of the field because Matthew Stafford will test all parts of the field. But I can't go without talking about the Rams without talking about Aaron Donald, who, guys, I don't know if it's been said enough. Aaron Donald might already be one of the best defensive players to ever play the game.
Can I one up you, bro?
Oh,
I think Aaron Donald. And I'm going to say this on the record. I think
it's
Aaron
recorded.
Donald. Yes. I think Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive player.
I don't know, man.
Like ever, bro. Like
it's so tough because
imagine the Rams defense right now without Aaron Donald.
I want to look at something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and look at something. Do your research.
I'm looking up career sacks in the NFL because I want to see where Aaron Donald is on this list.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to see how many career sacks he has because how many seasons has he been in the league? I think it's like 7, 8.
Somewhere around that mark.
And he's like
been around for a while.
He's 30 right now. He's at 86.5 sacks.
Yo, yeah, that's a good pace. That's a good pace.
That is a great pace.
Yeah, what am I telling you, man?
Considering he's been the NFL for, let's see, 2014, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 7 years, 86.5 sacks in 7 years. I'm going to go
let me make sure. His first season was 2014, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this would be a 7th season then.
7th season. That he's averaging 12 sacks a year. Like, come on,
he's
man.
Insane.
I'm not crazy, man.
You know, I'm gonna say my little 14-year-old self watching the draft that year. I was like, you know what? I want Aaron Donald. That's what I was focused on. And then the Rams took him. But
so
I'm not complaining for the record, but yeah.
He continues on this trajectory. He'll be at almost 100 sacks by his 10th season in the league. If he has 12 sacks this year, that puts him at 98.5. Currently, he's at 1, but he's Aaron Donald.
He's gonna have one of them games one day.
He's gonna get it.
Dude, Bruce Smith having 200 career sacks is insane.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy. I'm just going down this list of players who are here. Bruce Smith leads. He has 200 sacks in his career. Reggie White, RIP, Minister of Defense, has 198.
RIP, man.
Third is Kevin Green. Guess how many Kevin Green has? 160.
I was gonna guess 173.
Dude, the gap between Bruce Smith and Reggie White, and then third. I don't know if Aaron Donald's going to reach that, but
think about the impact though. There's three people.
Simeon Rice is at 122, and he's in the top 20. Aaron Donald can break the top 20 by let's see. He's at 86.5 now, 98.5 if he finishes this season. Then add 12 more, that's 110. Then add 12 more, he's at 122.5. He would be in the top 20 by 33 years old. This is a historic pace.
And 33 years old, listen, that's a pretty good age. That's still in that little prime peak. So
yep. And then, dude, what he does, and the thing about it is, Bruce Smith was a big dude. Reggie White was 6'5", 300 something pounds. Aaron Donald was 6'1", 280. Yep. And he's absolutely dog walking offensive lineman.
For what it's worth, though, most of that 280 is muscle. So
yeah, it's muscle,
pure muscle.
But still, when you think of defensive tackles and defensive linemen in general, I mean, Bruce Smith, I think he was listed as, I'm looking it up now. Let's see. Bruce Smith was listed as, 6'4", 265. Reggie White, but he played defensive end. I'm only gonna do defensive tackles. Reggie White was listed as 6'5", 291. Aaron Donald doing this at 280 is
ridiculous,
unbelievable.
Right? It's ridiculous.
I wasn't on the list on the train of Aaron Donald being the best player and a defensive player in NFL history, mainly because there's so many great ones at so many positions.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald's really on that trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy about it is the Rams might have two of the best defensive players at their positions ever playing on the same team at the same time.
They're not better than Prime, bro. Sorry.
I'm not saying the best, but one
of.
But
amongst.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Look, man, I know about Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I know. He is very, 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 very good at football. So I understand the hype.
Jalen Ramsey is he was an All-American at safety at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Then moved and was an All-American at corner. Then was in the NFL an All-Pro at corner, outside corner. For the past 2 years, he's been an All-Pro at slot corner. He just negates everything.
Mm-hmm.
Legitimately, you can't avoid throwing to him now because now the defensive coordinators are putting him where all the action is. So what are you gonna do? You can't do anything. Dude, it's crazy how they have both been playing at the same time. I don't know how far this Rams team can go because I do think the defense against the run has been a little bit worse. And I think mainly because Brandon Staley left. I love Raheem Morris, but when they hired Raheem Morris, he basically was yeah, we're going to run all the stuff they did last year. So you teach me. There's going to be some growing pains with this defense. We might see it against Tampa because Tampa's a buzzsaw.
And no one has left, bro. Everyone's back.
Yeah. Everyone. The crazy thing about Tampa, and I know I'm talking for a long time, but
you're good, bro.
Tom Brady's thrown for 9 touchdowns in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 44. We can't keep doing this. He can't.
What are we supposed to? Hey, listen, bro. Listen. The Panthers could handle that. I'm not going to say anything else because, we respect the health of the players. I'm just saying, the Panthers could, they could do a little work.
Dude, it's insane how strong his arm is at 44.
Well, yeah, because he's getting protected.
That, yeah. But he's also he's got a really strong arm at 44, which is insane. Also, Gronk deciding to be pre-retirement Gronk is not something that I expected.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, he kind of retired in his prime, so it's not like he
But
like
when
leveled off.
he retired, he looked kind of like broken down because of all the injuries.
They were
Yeah,
piling
that's
up
true.
on him.
He's just getting open all the time. It's not fair because now you can just be like, okay, if we want to run the ball, we'll have arguably the best blocking tight end of all time. He's the best tight end of all time. I know people like to say Travis Kelce, but Gronk is the best tight end of all time.
Yeah.
What about Tony G?
He's better. Gronk is better than Tony Gonzalez. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dude. And then they can run 12 and 13 personnel because they have Gronk, OJ Howard's back, Cameron Brate. They can run the ball at you, or if they want to spread you out, they have at least 7 receivers who would start on other teams. Like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who's one of the best slot receivers in the league. Oh, yeah, Antonio Brown's back being Antonio Brown. I know he has COVID, so he's probably not going to play against the Rams, but okay, Antonio Brown has COVID. We'll just put in Scotty Miller, who is really good. Well, not really good, but like
He's serviceable.
He's serviceable. Yeah.
he's not the white receiver that Tom Brady had in New England because
Yes,
Scotty Miller is fast.
Yeah.
And then Tyler Johnson is really good. And he was a rookie last year. And they just drafted rookie Jalen Darden from North Texas. He's also really good.
He's
They have
also quite athletic.
so many ways they can beat you. If they want to say, like, yeah, you want to limit us from throwing the ball, yeah, we'll just run it. We have the best offensive line in football. We'll just run it at you. You want to stop the run? Okay. We'll throw it everywhere. I really think the only way to beat Tampa is you got to score with them. And
I think you got to beat them up, to be honest. I don't think they get beat up. That's why I feel confident about this Panthers team
that's
because
because they do the beating.
that's the thing. They haven't been the ones who have received the beat. That's
Because
why
they're
like
always
a game that like I want to talk about and that like reflects this theme, bro. Ravens Chiefs, bro. You know what? The Ravens got tired of getting beat, bro. They got tired of getting their ass beat, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. They got tired, and so you know what they did? They decided to deliver the punch back, and so
See,
that's what I feel like one of these teams out here needs to do to the
what I
Bucs.
love about the Ravens Chiefs game is even after they went down 14-0, they still ran the ball because they had the most explosive running game in the league. Like their running is not the same as your running.
It's
And like
levels.
teams are gonna try and replicate that Chiefs where you can like run the ball. But I will say the Chiefs run defense is bad, but you're not gonna get the explosive runs that you get from Cleveland or Baltimore because you don't have Lamar Jackson. Like I've been on this train since 2019. Lamar is an elite quarterback because Lamar does things so much differently from other quarterbacks, but he's so good at it. Like he is one of one. The halftime drive going into halftime, where I think they kicked the field goal where Lamar, he made three dudes for the Chiefs look silly, including Tyrann Mathieu. Where it was just whoop, juke move, whoop, juke move, whoop, juke move.
Yeah.
Dog.
He's Lamar, bro. Like I don't know why people are acting like he hasn't been that guy. He's been that guy forever, bro.
The thing about Lamar is he's a passer. He looks to pass first.
Yes, and he can sling it too.
It's just when he runs, he's the most explosive runner in the league. Like I don't
get caught up in that.
I know about Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey. Lamar Jackson is the most dangerous runner in the NFL right now. Because there is nobody as fast or as quick as Lamar Jackson.
I think you're disrespecting Mr. Christian McCaffrey here, but that's just me though.
Look, I love Christian McCaffrey, but
yeah,
Lamar just makes so many people look stupid.
I mean, the thing about Lamar is that, like, of course, he's going to be a good runner because he has the passing to complement that. He's, in my opinion, he's like the ultimate evolution of Mike Vick. Like
he's Super Saiyan Mike Vick.
Super Saiyan Mike Vick, bro. That's what Lamar Jackson is, bro. And it's beautiful to see.
It's
And
so
so
crazy.
the running, like McCaffrey's like receiving complements that. So it's a whole other element to it. So I do get what you're saying, but I'm also biased.
Side note from the Ravens Chiefs game, I love that John Harbaugh asked Lamar if he wanted to go for it.
Oh, that was a great clip.
You want to know why?
Great moment.
Because in those moments, you put the ball in the best player's hands.
In the best player's hands, yes, sir.
Yes,
270 yards. If you can't get 1 yard on 4th and 1, you don't even deserve the win.
Exactly.
You have, again, the most dangerous runner in the NFL. That's a no-brainer. Go for it because you're not going to get the ball back. Especially down 1, you're punting it to Mahomes.
Right, what are we doing?
You couldn't really stop Mahomes last week either. Like, they didn't really stop Mahomes. But Odafe Owe made some great plays.
Yeah, but
But you're not stopping them. You have to score with them. And that's what I loved about the Ravens. They scored with them while going away from the whole, like, you have to throw the ball. Like, you can run the – I'm not going to, like, go that far. You can run the ball and win games, but your run game has to be explosive. Baltimore's run game is explosive.
You think it's sustainable, though?
Yes. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they have Lamar Jackson.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be the
I should have called out.
Really, like,
word for word. I said that in my head right before you said it.
Because
if they have Lamar Jackson, you can trot like a running back out there and he'll look good next to Lamar Jackson because Lamar draws so much attention with the ball in his hands. Like Latavius Murray, I mean, he's Latavius Murray. Tyson Williams should get more reps than Latavius Murray. But Lamar makes the run game so much more explosive because of the attention he draws. And when he has the ball in his hands, he can score from any part of the field. Like on that quarterback draw I was just talking about, if Tyson Williams picks up the first linebacker, Lamar scores.
Exactly.
Like, I was watching that play, and all I was reminded of was the play he made against Florida State on the read option that really set off the Heisman campaign, where he spun through like 3 defenders trying to tackle him. I could go on for this entire podcast about how
we can just talk about
this.
Yeah, I'm happy he's doing well, though. I really am. I'm glad he finally got his get back as well.
That was a y'all must have forgot game. Y'all must have forgot that I was elite because all the slander from the offseason say, well, is Lamar good enough passer? He threw like 2 touchdowns, I think. And one of them was like an insane jump pass to Hollywood Brown. Shout out to Hollywood Brown. And shout out to all the guys who switched to single-digit numbers because they are already faster.
Shout out Shaq Thompson.
For Jalen Smith.
Number 7.
Shaq
yes,
Thompson.
sir.
I'm going back to the Panthers. Shaq Thompson is so good. Like, he looks so good this year.
Super Saiyan.
Wearing the 7, I think it made him so much faster.
I think it just made him better at everything.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, the one exception to that is Jalen Smith.
Is he still so like what's going on? Let's talk about your boys, bro. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
So like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Why are we?
Jalen Smith, I give him a rough time, but he wasn't bad. He wasn't good, but he wasn't awful this week. But let's see. I'll talk about the offense first a little bit. Something that's really different about this Cowboys team, and that's had me excited like all week, is that they're showing that they can adapt to anything. Unlike the Jason Garrett era, where Jason Garrett basically said, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to be really good at it, and you got to stop us. This Dallas team is adapting to their opponents and really getting at their weaknesses. And a lot of that's on Kellen Moore, and I think he's going to – the Cowboys have a tough decision because I think Kellen Moore is going to get a lot of attention as a head coaching candidate. But I really think Dallas needs to figure out how to retain him. Like, it's rough, man. I don't want to
guarantee him the Cowboys job.
Huh?
That's the only way. That's the only way to keep him. You guarantee that he'll be the Cowboys head coach.
Honestly, they should.
But
McCarthy's.
I'm going to say something that like I've said before, like texting with y'all. I like this Cowboys offense because they can attack you in multiple different ways. Like, I know the whole like thing with Zeke and Tony Pollard. Zeke shouldn't get as many carries. Zeke and Tony Pollard benefit from each other. And
They
I
do.
said last week for the Cowboys to win this game, they would have to run the ball effectively. They ran it right down Los Angeles' throat, mainly because like Jerry Tillery is not the guy for that 1.5 gap scheme that Brandon Staley likes to play. But I love that Kellen Moore is basically saying, like, yeah, we have so many ways to beat you. Choose one. And I think it's really going to help them going into the later parts of the season when, when Dak starts to turn it back up, because he's going to start getting more reps during the season. He's going to start going back to being elite quarterback Dak.
Mm-hmm. Because he hasn't even really used his legs, and I mean that's fair. I don't blame him. It might have to do with the game plan even, but I think once he starts to get more comfortable, you even add that in as another threat, and this offense could be really, really, really good.
I really am interested to see how this Micah Parsons at defensive end experiment works. Because I know he had some great pressures last week, but that was against Storm Norton. Do you know who Storm Norton is, Jason?
Please inform me.
He's the backup right tackle.
Oh,
right tackle.
Thank you.
Look, I think Micah Parsons at defensive end is a great way to get multiple of your linebackers that you have 5,000 of on the field. But before we go off on the whole Micah Parsons is the elite edge thing, let's see him against some like actual like right tackle talent.
Like someone who's like not like a backup, like you just said.
Like this next week where he's going against the Eagles offensive line.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, my thing on Micah Parsons is I think he should be moved around. Like he should be a game plan specific piece, and they just move him based on what the opponent looks like. Like this week, I think he'd be great in like maybe in a spiral.
I think you got to keep him at the end because you have no pass rush.
Well, yeah. Randy Gregory is back this week though.
Yawn. And
like
we have guys who can rush the passer. It feels weird to say because Dallas all of a sudden has I'm not going to say that they're good at these positions, but they have depth at two positions that they've never really had depth at. They have a stable of guys who can at least get pressures at defensive end, and they have about 4 safeties who I feel comfortable playing, which for Dallas, safety play has been like bad the past decade.
What
was that white safety y'all had forever?
Jeff Heath.
Yeah.
I saw him he's on the Saints now.
Jeff Heath slander, bro. He made turnovers. He made plays.
That's the thing I like about this Cowboys defense is they're actually like creating turnovers.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that at all. So
it's a good
sign. It's a good sign they're getting turnovers. I do want to see how many of those are like batted passes or like drop passes because those are real volatile. You're not going to get a drop pass interception every week unless like you have a rabbit split in your pocket. But I do think they're going to be tested a lot. This Eagles team low key might test them because this is a different quarterback from what they've seen. Justin Herbert, by the way, dude, like Justin Herbert, that guy, like he is.
I know he's that guy, but I need to
see
more, bro.
I know the passing yards and touchdowns look kind of pedestrian, but at least like 100 of that came back because of holding.
Could you imagine what Justin Herbert will look like once they really build that offensive lineup?
Bro, he had a pass. I think it was like a 40-yard, like on a rope, hole shot and cover 2, like right in between the corner and the safety and the far side of the field. And Trevon Diggs turns around and is just like this, like, what am I supposed to do? That is
so his usual statement.
That is one of like there are only a few guys in the league who make that throw. Justin Herbert's one of them, man. Like he's really good. Like he is like Abram knows. Like
I know he's good. I know he's gonna be like up next and everything. I just want to see more. That's all I'm asking.
The way this entire game went, was Dallas would play relatively well on first and second down and get him in a tough spot on third down. And then Justin Herbert would just
be like,
do something.
Screw it.
Like,
I am the best player on the field.
We have him in good positions too, like good for Dallas positions. And he would just
he hit one I saw today. He was rolling out of pressure and threw like 50 yards down the field in between the corner and the safety. And it just makes you laugh because, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't play that any better. You have them right where you want to be. And it's just like, no, I'm just going to be a better quarterback than you. I'm going to be a better player than you.
Straight up.
But honestly,
he's really good.
I do want to say about I'll go back to Dallas real quick. I want to shout out because over here at Pancake we like the offensive line.
The big fellas.
Man, Zach Martin looked just insane. Honestly, this is the first we've seen him since Thanksgiving of last year, and he came back and the rust didn't show at all. The after effects of COVID didn't show like at all. Like he was just out here dominating people. And of course, Chargers defensive tackles aren't necessarily great, but Zach Martin just had him and like he was just dominating them at the point of the attack. And so was Terrence Steele looked really good. And I'm gonna go back to a couple things I said during our divisional previews where we were talking about Dallas and the offensive line. And I'm not gonna lie, I did say that, I feel like their experience last year would help them. And Terrence Steele really did hit the weight room this offseason. Shout out to him. I think he won a couple offseason awards, and it shows in his run blocking. He was out there like doing a great job. He had Joey Bosa as his matchup, and a lot of it was due to like game planning and kind of putting him in the best spot to win. But he didn't stick out, and I think that's great.
He wasn't noticeably bad.
He wasn't a weak spot.
The Eagles-Cowboys game might be like fun, like in the trenches.
Yeah, because this Dallas offensive line looks great. Like even Connor Williams,
Zach Martin and Connor Williams against Fletcher Cox.
Yeah,
like
Connor Williams has been a guy that's caught a lot of flack. He's caught a lot of flack throughout his career so far. And
on the other side of the ball,
see him out here,
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson.
More Lane Johnson. But
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be like one of those wild games where it's gonna be like
it always is when it's Dallas and Philly.
Like it's gonna be really sloppy, which could make for some good.
One thing I'm concerned about for the Eagles is they really don't let Jalen Hurts throw the ball down the field. I don't know if that's because they don't trust Jalen Hurts or if that's just the offense. They don't let him throw the ball down the field, and it shows.
The former.
I think it's noticeable because when you have to pull out Philly specials on the goal line, like
on the goal line, bro, like come on, man, like we did this already.
Run the ball. Jalen Hurts is a great runner.
But
I think it's going to be a fun game. A team that I was not expecting to be as good as they were, and I think I predicted them to be last in their division.
Ooh.
The Raiders, bro, like.
Ooh.
The Raiders are looking kind of good. And I think a lot of that is due to Derek Carr just showing the willingness to throw the ball downfield.
He's playing out of his mind right now.
Is it more Raiders good or Steelers bad, though?
Derek Carr's playing very well.
So here's my thing. The Steelers' defense is still really good.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's gotten a lot better. It's not like his arm's gotten stronger. It's just he trusts himself to throw the ball downfield. Like there are a lot of throws in that Steelers game that I don't think 2020 or 2019 Derek Carr makes. I will also say the Steelers are cooked on offense.
Yeah, Big Ben needs to let it go.
They are absolutely cooked. They can't run the ball. And Najee Harris is back there fighting for his life.
Fighting for his life, bro. As expected, though.
Run the ball.
Yeah.
They can't throw the ball because Ben doesn't have a strong enough arm now. Like, the thing about Drew Brees cooked last year is Drew Brees still had the Drew Brees mind. He knew how to manipulate coverages and knew what you were running basically before the play started. Right. Big Ben has always been more of a, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm going to just do some wacky stuff because I'm just bigger and stronger. Now he's not bigger and stronger. His arm certainly isn't bigger and stronger. So, man, Ben is cooked. Like
Yeah,
I don't know how else to describe it. Like he is cooked.
it could get pretty ugly for the
Like
Steelers.
I think they'll win like 8 games because the Steelers defense is good enough to win you at least a few. But their offense just and like I like Matt Canada. I think the scheme is like working. They can't execute.
I don't think they have the personnel, bro.
I don't think so either. The offensive line hasn't been as good.
Mhm.
I think the receivers are good, but
Yeah, they're
the
solid
quarterback got to get
enough.
him the ball. He
Mhm.
can't. He's trying to throw to vertical threats like Deontay Johnson, Trace Claypool, without having a vertical arm.
You can't do that, man.
You can't do that. You're wasting the offense. And like at some point, it might like hurt them like in future development if Ben continues to stay around and hold on like he's got it still.
Or
Yeah,
the Brett Favre, but like not the retiring thing, but
They
like
might need to like all pierce that man. Like you ain't Kobe. We need you to go in and sit down, man. But
like that.
bro, we gotta talk about some of these late games because they
Wait,
were.
wait, wait. Before we do, we can't skip over your squad and how you let 5 just run game on y'all because
So here's my thing.
bro, you let 5 run game on y'all, bro. What's up with
Here's
that?
my thing.
No, I'm not okay with that, bro. Like, let me rant, bro. I wasn't okay with the fact that y'all just let 5 look like a good quarterback out there. Now everyone thinks like he's like this cold, like exceptional quarterback because y'all can't do anything to stabilize him, bro. It's 5. You know what he's going to do. He's gonna throw for like these cute little routes, and y'all can't cover them cute little routes. Y'all can't cover 5 to 10 yard routes, bro.
Here's the problem.
Bro, it's 5, bro.
Here's the problem.
Y'all let 5 run game on y'all, bro.
You want to know what the problem is?
Tell me the problem.
The defense is always on the field. Like defense really wasn't that good to begin with. They play a lot of man, and I don't know, man. It's difficult because honestly, I want to see Trevor Lawrence keep throwing the ball down the field, even if he throws an interception. Just keep doing it.
Just to like let him learn.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather him learn to tone down the aggressiveness than to try and turn it up.
Yeah.
Because you can teach a quarterback to, okay, maybe you want to throw the check down here. You can't teach a quarterback to say, now you go throw the ball deep. That's like an Alex Smith. Otherwise, you got Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about Jacksonville is like, they're not good. Like this wasn't going to be a 1-year thing. It's probably not going to be a 2 thing because there's so many like gaps along this defense and offense. I think the offensive line has been like the best position group thus far.
Oh.
They've only allowed 2 sacks and 2 pressures last week against Denver, and James Robinson averages 4.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, they need to show him more love too.
That's the thing. Run the ball.
Oh, yeah,
Run the ball. It works because James Robinson is good. Arizona's defense is god awful at defending the run.
Yeah.
Like watching them against Minnesota, there was a play where Minnesota ran an outside zone and they tried to fill the gap by having a safety come down, but the linebacker overran to where the safety was going to be. So now you have 2 guys in one gap, and Dalvin Cook had the entire state of Arizona to run through.
For what it's worth, that Minnesota O-line did improve significantly.
They don't even have their like first round draft pick playing at left tackle. I don't think Minnesota's offensive line is that great. But like,
that's
even the Arizona defensive coordinator has said to negate Chandler Jones, run the ball. Darrell Bevel, I know you're listening. Listen to the defensive coordinator. Run the ball, please. It'll make your quarterback's job a lot easier. Like, I don't know how you galaxy brained yourself into thinking that running the ball is bad, especially with a rookie quarterback. Probably listen to Abram. That's why. Probably listen to
Yeah,
Abram.
that's probably what they did.
I'm not
Because if
anti-run
Abrams
game.
evil, running backs don't matter.
That is, you are stretching my words.
Run the ball, please. It'll work. It'll work.
Honestly, I need them to. My fantasy team's going through it in our league right now.
I don't understand, man. Like it's not that they're bad, because I knew they'd be bad, but the coaching has been bad. Like, it just feels like, why are you doing this bad? Like, Joe Cohen, they're trying to put in this Baltimore defense, and like, I think it's cool. I love Wink Martindale and Baltimore's defense. They're gonna blitz you, and you got to try and fix it, do something about it. But the miscommunications happen way too often. Play zone or something, or at least mix it up. Don't just show man and drop the zone. Do something different. But that is my weekly Jaguars rant.
I understand, bro. I understand.
But
I just want to say that Kyler Murray, MVP. That's all I got to say.
Dude, he does.
Everyone was cooking me for saying Arizona was going to be nice, bro. That's all I had to say. That's all I got to say, bro. So when you were talking about the Vikings and like how they were like, yeah, but at the same time, like,
he does the funniest
on the other side of the ball, man,
where he'll run around for like 20 yards in the backfield,
scampering,
and then throw like a 77-yard touchdown to Rondale Moore, because they are stretching the limits of backyard football.
Yeah,
like, it's literally
beautiful.
Okay, Kyler Murray, roll out of the pocket, find Rondale Moore or DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know how long it's going to work, because we saw this kind of last year, because teams, once Kyler Murray got injured, the Kyler Murray stuff wasn't happening.
Yeah, because he wasn't there, bro.
Yeah. So I'm really, again, I don't think it's anything different in the offense. I just think adding Rondale Moore to do the screens and Kyler Murray getting a lot better, and adding Rodney Hudson too. Can't overstate how important Rodney Hudson is.
Absolutely.
Adding those pieces has helped make that offense a lot better. Minnesota, man.
I feel bad for their fans, bro, because they had a tough break, bro.
Like, that was Kirk Cousins led a great 2-minute drill drive.
Yeah.
When everybody thought Kirk Cousins was gonna Kirk Cousins, he didn't. And then they missed the kick. Like, it's just, like, you can't.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's like, man, you really. What else can you say? Like, Mike Zimmer legitimately might slaughter someone this year.
Could potentially happen.
Because, again, I don't think their defense is as good as it has been the past years. And I don't think the offense is good enough to carry a bad defense, because I don't think the quarterback's good enough to carry a bad defense. I don't think Kirk Cousins is that guy. It's just, they're in a weird spot where, like, they're going to be in the hunt, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And mainly that's because the NFC West has 4 teams that can make the playoffs.
Okay.
Including the Seahawks, who never play a normal game of football ever.
Which is perfect for this type of football. Because when you have backyard football plus unpredictability, isn't that in favor of backyard football?
Like, bro, the Seahawks are so weird because their offense should be really good. But I think some of it comes down to, like I said in the beginning of the season, Russell Wilson doesn't throw the ball over the middle of the field. It's either deep or out to the flats. They don't throw any in break into the middle of the field because he can't see. Like, like, I'm not even like saying that as like a joke or anything. He can't see over the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know what happened. Well, actually, I do know what happened. Derrick Henry happened. Like, the Titans went back in the halftime and was like, look, man, we can't let Tannehill win this for us. We have Derrick Henry, and he ran for 200-something yards. Bro, Derrick Henry's so weird because he's 6'3", 250, but runs like a scat back. That long touchdown run.
Yeah.
That long touchdown run, he's outrunning DBs.
Yeah, he's gone.
Terrifying. I will say, though, I think a lot of that is because I think, again, the best way to stop Derrick Henry is to hit him hard. Just hit him.
That's what the Ravens did.
The Ravens did that. The Steelers did that last year.
So you got to do
Even
just
the Cardinals. Even the Cardinals did it. But the thing about the Cardinals game was, no, not even that. Because the Titans got away with a lot of stuff. Ryan Tannehill had a bad strip sack where they just completely whiffed on a guy. And they came back and won the game. Again, Seattle never plays normal football games.
Ever. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm telling you, though, don't sleep on them Cardinals, man. That's all I got to say.
Man, I don't know. I really do think the Rams are going to win that division. And I think the Seahawks will probably be second.
You think the Seahawks are going to be better than the Cardinals?
I do. Okay. Because the Cardinals' run defense sucks, bro.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
You think it has room to you think they could improve over the course of the season?
I think they can. I just don't know if it's more scheme or players not executing.
Because most of the time it's the latter, right?
You're asking a lot of the scheme to have a safety coming down from off the top of your too high.
Mm.
You're asking a lot for that safety to take on a pulling guard. You guys are offensive linemen. If you see a safety and you pulling, what are you thinking?
I don't know, man.
I safety coming down to fit, and you're a pulling lineman. What is your first thought? You scheme.
Honestly, when I would pull, most of the time, what I would do, if I was a pulling guard, especially, and I'm the kick out, it's first color that approaches the gap. So if the safety just gets there before the lineman, bro, the safety's just getting smacked, bro. I really don't know what to tell you. But most of the time, the safety's not gonna get there faster than the end.
Exactly. You're asking a lot for the safety to come down and make fits in the run game. I think Brandon Staley's Chargers do it a lot, where you play these light boxes and you have all these positionless players, but now you're asking them to defend the run. So I don't know if it's scheme or just not executing. It's probably both. But I'm just going to side with the team that has the better quarterback. And Russell Wilson is top 3.
Yeah. He is, bro. He is, bro. He's certainly top 5. He's certainly top 5. 3, that's a lot of quarterbacks, bro.
Mahomes, Rodgers, Wilson. Either Wilson or Brady, bro.
Wilson, Brady, Josh Allen.
No, I go Dak before Josh Allen.
Thank you, JP.
I think Dak is better. He's a more accurate passer than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has the high-end arm strength and the mobility, but I think he's a little more inconsistent than we think. I know they beat the Dolphins 35-0. Great win for Buffalo. Offense still doesn't look like it's humming at full. It's not happening, And again, I kind of feel like that's because asking Josh Allen to be your leading, your passing game focal point and your running game focal point is not something he can do, because Josh Allen's going to make those hero ball throws that end up going horribly bad. But I'm really sad for the Dolphins. I just feel really bad. like legitimately, I feel bad for the Dolphins because Tua was playing fine, and then the offensive line like breaks him. Miami's offensive line is like they legitimately might be the worst offensive line in football.
You think so?
Bro.
Like I think PFF grades offensive linemen every week, and I know it's PFF, but
I mean, they still get right sometimes.
they're legit 32nd.
Yikes.
That's
Like,
pretty atrocious. That's literally the worst.
The Raiders are going to be 3-0.
Project hasn't worked. They're just getting worked by everybody. Like I don't know how you're supposed to survive. Even if you're Jacoby Brissett, I don't know how you're supposed to survive behind the offensive line. It's something like I've seen a lot of discussion on how teams should like build their offensive line through draft or through free agency. For a team like Miami, you build it through free agency. You got to win now. You don't got time to wait for projects. That defense is ready to win now. You don't got time to wait for an Austin Jackson to pan out. Go get your star left tackle or something like that. And, you know, now that Tua's out, we have another situation on our hands. Let me explain it to you guys. So now that Tua's injured, people have been discussing quarterbacks Miami should look for to keep.
Oh, I know where this is going.
One of those quarterbacks is Deshaun Watson.
That's not who I thought you were going to say. Wow.
Who do you think I was going to say?
I thought I was going to do the Superman thing and everything, bro.
No, it's not Cam. This is a lot worse, actually.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of off-field, this is a lot worse.
This is a lot worse, bro.
He's not going to play this year. Like, we need to legitimately, like, take the thought of Deshaun Watson not playing or Deshaun Watson playing and just throw it out. He's never going to play.
We should let it go. Like, honestly, you're right. Like, I don't know why I keep playing myself. Like, he's like, I'm not like rooting for him to play or anything. I just know how the NFL is when it comes
to the thing about it is
domestic violence.
It's not even, it is part of the NFL because the NFL doesn't want to talk about this at all.
At all. Yeah, you're right.
So they're not putting them on the commissioner's list or the non-football exempt list because they don't want to create something they got to talk about.
Right.
They have been investigating because that's something they don't want to talk about. Because, man, you can't tell 22 women that they're lying because it's 22 of them.
22 women.
So
even
the NFL
like,
we're just not going to see them at all.
Exactly. And even like one, bro, you still got to validate that one, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 22. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't understand how people can say, like, yeah, they're false claims when there are 22 of them.
Mm-hmm. Like, and like you have to validate each and every one of those claims, bro. And so, man,
the NFL would rather not put him, like, leave him be with the team and just say, like, yeah, we're letting the investigation pan out before we do anything because they don't want to talk about this. They legitimately don't. Also, the other thing is, and it came up a lot with Tyrod Taylor not playing in the Panthers game right now. They're like, well, why can't Deshaun play? Because there are multiple things going on with this Deshaun Watson thing. First of all, is 22 cases. He's probably not going to play because of that. Second, Deshaun Watson wants to leave. Like, this is a very James Harden thing going on right now.
Yeah.
He's not going to play because he doesn't want to be there. Like, it's a whole bunch of compounding factors that really, like, it sucks for the Texans. You're just trying to play football.
Yeah. But you got all this stuff being caught up with you.
Yeah, definitely. But
it's unfortunate. But to, I guess, transition, the Panthers are currently whooping that Texan ass. So we starting off strong.
What score?
It is 7-0, and the Texans are punting to us. They've been punting to us all game. We just need to capitalize. McCaffrey is out with a hamstring injury, which breaks my heart. So,
dude, I literally just traded him away in another league I'm in like right before the game started.
Bless
Like
it. For you anyway.
I guess, but
Yeah, that still sucks.
That still sucks. Yeah, that he's out.
Prayers up to him, man. Prayers up. But what games next week are we excited for? Because listen, man, for me, I gotta go. Yeah, Bucks Rams, bro. Bucks Rams. I want to see that Smash Mouth football game, man. I really do.
For me,
I'm really excited to see. Oh, sorry, you go first.
No, go ahead. I got to pull.
Oh, okay. I'm really excited to see Justin Fields first start. I mean, I think the Browns are probably going to win that game, but it's exciting, seeing a rookie's first regular season start. Browns are good though, they're fun to watch.
Oh, they're playing the Packers.
And
no, I'm lacking. I'm thinking of Trey Lance, bro.
Okay.
Tripping, bro. I am
the
tripping.
Browns,
My
they're
brain
getting
is tripping. Yeah.
I think they're getting Odell Beckham back this week.
Oh,
or at least he's on track to play this week. I guess we'll see. But that adds a whole new dimension to their offense.
That Browns game might get ugly.
It might. They might terrorize that
but,
man. But he might make some good throws that'll be impressive. But yeah,
I'm not even talking about the Bears offense. Like, we need to have a dialogue about that defense. Outside of Khalil, outside that front seven, their DBs
is great. Yeah, right.
I think Jalen Johnson has played great, but outside of Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson, they've been kind of getting cooked. Yeah. And now you're playing a Browns team that might get OBJ back. And it might get ugly.
Well, y'all know where to place y'all bets this week.
But for me, let's see, what game am I most excited for? I am an agent of chaos.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to choose Seahawks Vikings. Because that game is going to devolve into just absolute nonsense.
You're right, though.
You have an extremely volatile offense in the Seahawks where it's basically the Seahawks offense is like every power hitter in the league MLB right now, where it's home run or strikeout.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not hitting the deep play, it's to the flat, to the flat, to the flat.
Yeah.
Against a Vikings team that, again, I think they're real top heavy. But the top heavy is at running back and receiver, and their quarterback is kind of
middle of the pack.
It might end up being like another shootout. Like, we might have a Vikings Cardinals game.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind that at all. But like, if I didn't choose Seahawks Vikings, I'd go Washington versus the Bills.
That's a fun matchup. I think the Bills are going to win that one, though.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Washington needs to get their swagger back on defense. Allowing Daniel Jones to have his best game of his career against you is not a good sign. Like, I feel like we don't discuss how athletic Daniel Jones is enough. Like, he's not like athletic enough to be considered a threat in the run game consistently, but he will pop off a 50-yard touchdown run. He did that against Washington. It was kind of wild. But I think Washington needs to get back on track. And I think you start that by just throwing the 5-man front away. Don't play all 5 defensive linemen at the same time. Just play 4. You can win with 4 because your 4 are better than a lot of teams' 4. You also need Chase Young to play better. Like, it's just, he's got to play better. Because I've always said that Jonathan Allen's their best defensive lineman. Chase Young might get most splash plays. Jonathan Allen is like that dude.
Puts in the work. He puts in the dirty work. See, a lot of interior defensive linemen and interior offensive linemen, in my opinion, they don't get their credit because at the end of the day, all of that dirty work and all that muck and A gap and B gap is opened up in those trenches. So a lot of people don't look at that. It is unfortunate.
The thing about like Jonathan Allen is right now, like among like sack leaders, I think Jonathan Allen's in the top 5. Like legitimately, like he's a really good, like he's tied for 3rd in sacks as a defensive tackle when everyone else around him is an edge guy. TJ Watt, Hassan Reddick, Von Miller, Daniil Hunter, and Chandler Jones. All edge guys. Jonathan Allen is that dude. Like, he has the old school helmet. He plays old school. Like, he has a Reggie White, like, hump move. It's not like caliber of Reggie White, but that's who made the hump move, like, real, like, famous.
Right.
But he's that dude. I think they need the defensive line to get rolling again.
And honestly, I think with Ron and everything, they're gonna get it right. Not this week though. maybe a little later down the line, but not against.
To be honest, I think they can get rolling against Buffalo.
Okay, we'll see.
Because I think Buffalo's weakness on offensive lines and their tackles, because Deion Dawkins is still recovering from having COVID.
True.
And a lot of their scheme is they bait you into pressuring Josh Allen so he can move out the pocket and do Josh Allen stuff. You can't get away with that playing Chase Young and Montez Sweat because they are just as big and just as fast. But this is a good enough time for them to start kicking it into high gear again, because they're coming up on a Bills team that has kind of regressed offensively. The defense has gotten better, but you're not seeing as accurate on the Bills are not as good throwing the ball deep as they were last year through the first 3 games of the season.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
But it's really hard to be consistently that good at throwing the ball deep unless you're Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but we all know that boy is a little different.
Like, speaking of the Chiefs, who do the Chiefs play this week?
Play the Chargers.
They play the Chargers. Oh my gosh.
And like I get Justin Herbert hype, but bro, it's levels, bro. It's levels.
I want to see what the over-under for that game is. Hold on. Let's look it up. Chiefs, Chargers, over-under. Because I bet you, like, whatever the over-under is, go over.
Absolutely.
So the over-under is 55. Go over. Because there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
Bro. It's Mahomes.
Like, it is so insane. Like, bro, the first touchdown pass he threw to DeMarcus Robinson, where he's just like casual, rolling to your right, flick, 35-yard dot, touchdown. What are you supposed to do? Like, what defense can you play? What defense can
I
you
would
play?
say yeah, about that.
Like,
nothing's really coming to me right now.
As a corner, what do you say, like, when Mahomes does one of those, like, off 1 foot, sidearm, 40-yard dot on you, and you're in perfect coverage?
I was gonna say, like, maybe have like an all-time team, like
what do you
Deion Sanders, and like you have to go time travel, and it's goofy. You basically can't in real.
As a DC, you can't say like, yeah, you got to play that better because you played the best you could.
Because you did the best you could. You just have a superhero in Patrick Mahomes.
Like, hey man, you got to charge it to the game.
Charge it to the
and
game.
Then Travis Kelce, like, I don't know what like happened on that long touchdown run he had, where Baltimore just decided not to tackle. But Travis Kelce is unreal. I do want to see how they handle Tyreek Hill in the slot. Are they going to double him? Because what Baltimore did, they played a lot of heavy cover 3. They drop 8. And they would have somebody over the top of Tyreek Hill, and they'd have someone chip or press Travis Kelce at the line of scrimmage. Like, they had a Dafe Owe do that. I'm curious to see what the Chargers do, because they have a positionless player in Derwin James who can do that kind of stuff. I think what I want them to do is I want him to press Travis Kelce.
That's fine, but you can't cover everybody.
Like, I'm not saying cover everybody, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to play zone.
Yeah.
You can't play man again. I would never run man against the Chiefs.
ever. Yeah.
Because one, you're turning your back to the quarterback.
Mhm.
And once Mahomes breaks contain, you're basically screwed.
Yep.
You're at his
You're in his peak.
at his mercy. Second, make him run the ball. That's what you got to do. Play light boxes, coax them into running the ball because they haven't been as good running the ball. Like honestly, they haven't ran the ball very well. They haven't run it often either. But you have Patrick Mahomes, doesn't really matter. It's going to be a real interesting kind of chess match game. And for the Chiefs defense, fam, their run defense is atrocious.
Yeah, but I mean,
understand playing Cleveland and Baltimore first two games don't.
Yeah, bro.
But Baltimore couldn't run on the Raiders.
Teams
and they ran
adjust.
270.
Teams adjust, bro. Come on now. Let's give them a little credit.
But they were bad against the run last year.
And they were really close to getting a chip last year.
And you know what happened?
They didn't get it.
They ran the ball.
Yeah, they ran the ball and kept Mahomes pretty stabilized. So you're right.
But I just think their run defense is a huge problem. It's just, hopefully it'll gel. They added some pieces in the offseason, like Jaron Reed. Derek Nottie is good in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll just have to see. Because especially their second level, their linebackers are not good.
At all. Pretty.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Nick Bolton. Imagine you're like starting your first two games in NFL career. And you got to go against the Browns and the Ravens.
Hey, man, at least he's getting that. At least he's getting that NFL experience early. Like that prime time NFL experience.
I want to ask you guys this.
What's up, man?
Being like 100% real.
Mm-hmm.
If they were both in the open field and you got one-on-one, who would you rather try and tackle, Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson?
I'd rather get made look silly by Lamar Jackson than just get ran through by Derrick Henry.
I'm a psychopath, bro. Like I want to run full speed into Derrick Henry and see what's up, bro. But I'm built different, bro. I want to see what's up, bro. I want to see what's up.
Logically, I go Derrick Henry. Bro. Why? Because Derrick Henry has one move.
Yep.
He's got one thing he's gonna try and do. He's gonna try and stiff arm.
Exactly. And like he does that to corners and stuff and it looks intimidating. He doesn't do that to the guys in the box.
He doesn't do that to linebackers.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. So like you gotta see I gotta see what's up, bro. He might run me over, but I don't think I'm gonna look like
bro.
Josh.
Lamar has so many ways to make you look stupid.
I'm gonna just get my ankles
Lamar,
broken.
Like straight up make me break my ankles, bro.
Like again, you can say like, I'd rather be ran over than have my ankles broken. Because you can say like getting ran over is a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Go and hit him again. You couldn't touch Lamar Jackson. That's the problem.
I'm okay with that.
Like,
yeah.
You couldn't touch, bro. Yeah. I'm choosing Derrick Henry by far. We got to ask Ethan because Ethan, I'm sure, has a wild answer for that.
Are you saying like, do we have to be like, are we trying to give ourselves the best chance at succeeding, or?
That's why I picked it because I was like, bro, you got to see me, bro. Like,
okay, like, yeah, I guess I'll get Derrick Henry then. If we're like trying to succeed, then yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just dead.
I just like pop his legs and like, bro, like you. Let's see what's up, bro. Like if you run me over, you run me over. Like it is what it is. But like I want to see what's up, though.
Again, Lamar has so many ways to make you look silly. Like he's got the spin move, the juke move, like everything. I'll always remember 2019. He made Matt Milano touch earth in the phone booth. Like these are NFL guys,
NFL players, bro. Like straight up professionals.
Touch grass. Like he had him like on all fours, like grasping that air off of a boom boom. It's levels, man. Again, he's the most dangerous runner in football. There are levels to this.
Right.
All right, Ethan.
Ethan,
Ethan,
man.
turn on the mic.
What's up, bro?
Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful
I got a
people.
question for you.
Hey.
Hello,
What's up?
Ethan.
So, in the open field, you have to choose which one you would think you best succeed at. Would you
Okay.
rather try and tackle Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson?
Derrick Henry.
I rest my case.
Ethan's
So,
like
'cause,
me,
like,
bro.
all you gotta
Ethan's
do
crazy, bro.
All you gotta do with Derrick Henry is you can't let the man build up steam. If the man builds up steam, he's damn near almost impossible to take down. But like with Lamar, he doesn't need steam. Like he's just from the onset, like from the jump, he's quick. Like you ain't getting your hands on Lamar. You're an average human being. You're not touching Lamar with a 10-foot pole.
See,
I
all I'm
can
gonna
give
say is
you-
when I said Lamar, I thought we were just like guaranteed to fail. But like if we're trying like to get the best chance of succeeding, then yeah, it's Derrick
Best
Henry.
chance of succeeding, you're getting Derrick Henry. Like you
Yeah.
ain't getting your hands on Lamar.
See,
Like you can get your hands on Derrick Henry and then like figure something out, trip him, kick him in the nuts. Like you can get something off. Like you'll get him. But at least with Derrick Henry, you can put your hands on him. But you ain't touching Lamar.
you can at least slow him down and hope 10 other guys come to tackle Derrick Henry. You're not.
What are the odds that if I'm tackling Derrick Henry, right, I just grab his nuts, he goes down, right? So I'm aiming for nutsack.
Oh, I was gonna try and transition.
I yawned, but like at the same time, like I was like also shocked. So like it was like a yawn / jaw drop.
I
Y'all
was gonna
telling me
try
if
and
Derrick
trans-
Henry's charging you, you get all right. So you get $10 million, right? And Derrick Henry's coming after you. You telling me you ain't gonna the first thing you're gonna lock
Hey,
eyes on is
listen,
that
bro.
is
I
the
would
Peter
I would
you
say I
know?
do whatever it
Completely
takes, but
different
like, bro.
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna go after this man. I'm not saying I'm gonna hit this man so hard in his nuts where he's not gonna be able to have kids. And that's not what I'm saying. But you give him a little you give him a little nut tap. You know what I'm saying? Send the man right on down. He'll be like CMC in an injury tent for 22 minutes.
Oh no!
Wow.
Just off rip. But you
That
know
was
what?
so-
I
Guys, I deserve so much credit for that. That
That's
was so
Ethan is a
good.
bringer of
I have the
chaos.
perfect
dude.
I was gonna have the perfect transition for that entire Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry thing, which was, you know what teams get run over a lot? The Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
That
Bum
wasn't
team.
necessary.
Oh,
You
man.
Side
came
note-
just in time for us to bully your bum team, bro. Let's talk about your bum team real quick.
Hold on, wait. Side note. I think CMC's fine, guys.
You're trying to back it up now.
Yeah,
You-
No, I'm gonna be honest. He wasn't really limping into the tent. He wasn't limping when he was off the locker room. He didn't get carted off. I think he's fine. I think it's one
You're
of those
trying
like,
to
oh,
walk it
you're
back.
it's one of those like, oh, you're a little hurt. We're playing the Texans. Sit down, bro. You're good. We'll figure out what's going on. We'll get you stretched out in the injury tent. We'll make sure you're feeling good. Take you back to the locker room. Get you hydrated. You'll be all right.
You're trying to walk it back now, bro. Let's go ahead and talk
Right.
about this Falcons Bucks game.
No.
because-
Hold on, wait. I
Sorry
wasn't
about that.
walking it back. I was just making a joke the first time. That's all. Sometimes you got to.
Like, I know my team is bad, but the Falcons are really bad.
Bro, y'all are.
Yeah, we're
I think
bad.
y'all are the worst team in the NFC South, bro. Straight
Oh, I
up.
thought you were gonna say the NFL. I'm like, they're still
Nah,
the Jaguars
nah.
and they're still the Texans.
It's
Maybe the
Jags.
worst team in the NFC.
Bro, y'all are not going to do this while the Detroit Lions exist.
Now that the Lions exist, actually no. The
And
Lions
the
have some
Jets.
fight
Can we
in
have a
them,
real
bruh.
talk?
I like
Guys,
the
And
can we
Lions.
have a real
Jets.
talk? Can we have a real talk?
Yes.
The Detroit Lions are a better football team and a better coached football team than the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if they met on the football field, the Lions would spank that ass.
I agree.
understand. It's the mindset, bro. The
I think-
mindset.
But then
Dan
again,
Campbell.
how-
Coach.
if the Packers and the 49ers struggle to get pressure on Jared Goff, how are the Atlanta Falcons going to get pressure? We could send all 12 and we still wouldn't get there. Jared Goff would still have 10 seconds to throw. And I said all
Problem
12.
is-
I'm saying Arthur Smith and damn self's going to try to go get the quarterback. And he
The
still ain't
problem-
going to succeed.
The problem is the Lions defense is garbage.
But that's
Like-
okay. That's okay. You can send one man after the passer and he'll still sack Matt Ryan. One man. One man and one man alone. And we're not talking about the Dos Equis man, the man that can do anything. We're talking about average Joe in the in the parking lot knocking back beers, he could take on the Atlanta Falcons offensive line and win. All 5 of them.
I legitimately felt bad for Matt Ryan, like at some point during the game where it's like, bro, we got no hope. Then they started to come back. Where I was like, we might have something here. And then he threw 2 pick sixes.
He tried to do too much. He tried to do too much.
And one of the pick sixes wasn't his fault. It was a tip pass.
Yeah.
The other one, like, oh boy.
I forget where I saw it, but someone was commenting on it was on Twitter or something like that. Someone was commenting on how Matt Ryan has a noodle arm. And this man is stepping up into pressure, throwing a 45-yard pass while getting hit. And you're telling me he has a noodle arm? Okay. All right.
Matt Ryan's arm isn't the problem. It's Matt Ryan's offensive line, which is the problem.
Yeah, this is a sad way for, I guess, he's obviously on the back end of his career. It's a sad way to go out.
They're not doing him any
He's going to get traded.
He's
going to get traded in the offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to. They're going to go full rebuild.
Where, though? Where do we think he could get traded?
I mean, I think there's probably a couple places. Washington would probably be one I would outline.
I'm not going to lie. If this Wentz thing doesn't work out,
I think Indy, I don't think he really fits what Frank Wright wants to do, but I feel like he fits in perfectly in Washington. Terry McLaurin is a nice little speedster guy. Someone you can get the ball to in the open field and then downfield, and then you got Antonio Gibson. Like, I feel like he would fit in well in Washington. I could see Washington trading a couple of years of first-round picks to do it too, because their roster's set everywhere else.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Falcons are like 2 first-round picks and the second for Matt Ryan. Would we do it at this point? I hope it happens. I don't want Matt Ryan to get. I want Matt Ryan. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I want Matt Ryan to win a Super Bowl, and he's not winning a Super Bowl. He's not winning a Super Bowl in Atlanta.
He's not winning one, period.
You got these dumbass fans out here in Atlanta that just don't know shit, and they're like, "Hey, Matt Ryan sucks. He's the problem. We should have drafted Justin Fields." Guess what? Justin Fields would have thrown 30 picks in that game. Like, Justin Fields ain't doing nothing under that behind that offensive line. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I mean,
okay.
I feel
just look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, case in point. Trevor Lawrence is incredibly athletic, a terrible offensive line in front of him.
Okay.
He's not doing anything.
Here's the thing. Jacksonville's offensive line only gave up 2 pressures. It's only given up 2 pressures in the Broncos game and only allowed 2 sacks. The problem with Jacksonville is an idiot offensive coordinator who decides that having your quarterback throw the ball 50 times a game is a smart plan. And you know what? It's just the Jaguars make me hate football.
That's sad. That's really sad. I'm sorry that y'all are going through your team pains, but luckily it is only week 3, so it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. But we want to thank our loyal supporters. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Be sure to show love on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we out. Yes, sir. Yes.